Germany is heading to polls. They will vote on Sunday, February 23rd. This election was supposed to happen by the end of this year, but then the government collapsed and Chancellor Olaf Scholz had to call a snap election. Now he's fighting for survival. So who are the key contenders in this fight? What is on the agenda? And why is Germany's Gen Z shifting right? Let's break it down. First, the key contenders. Now, Germany's politics is heavily color-coded. Every party has a color, and it's what they're associated with, their color. It's also how coalitions are named. We start with the Social Democratic Party, which is led by Chancellor Olaf Scholz. This is the party in power. Its symbol is a red rose. So it is associated with the color red. And this is Germany's oldest party, known for its centrist politics. In the current government, it was in a coalition with two other parties. One is the Free Democratic Party, which is pro-business. It favors a small government. It is associated with the color yellow. The second is the Greens. Once an anti-establishment party, it emerged from environment movements, and now it's a mainstream force in Germany. So these three parties, coalition partners, red, yellow, and green, they form the current German government. Hence, it was called the Traffic Light Coalition. But for Scholz's government, that light has just turned red because another party is surging in polls. It is the Christian Democratic Union. This is Germany's main conservative party. It was once led by Angela Merkel. Now it is headed by a man called Friedrich Merz. He's 69 years old. He wants to restrict immigration and he wants to bring back nuclear energy.
I am not looking for any other majorities in this German Bundestag than those in the democratic center of our parliament. And if there were such a majority here today, if there has been such a majority here today, then I regret it.
This party, the CDU, is leading the polls with 29% voter support, but it won't be enough, 29%, which brings us to the wild card in this election and probably the kingmaker. The party called AfD, the Alternative for Germany Party. It is called a far-right party. It was set up in 2013 as a Eurosceptic fringe organization. But it soon became popular because of its anti-immigration agenda. Now, the AfD has a pro-Moscow stance. It supports Donald Trump. It doubts climate change. And one of its biggest backers is Elon Musk. Leading this party is Alice Weidel. She is 46 years old. She is said to have 21% voter support, which is not enough to win, but surely enough to decide the winner.
Burqas, headscarf girls and knife men on state benefits and other good-for-nothings will not secure our prosperity, economic growth and, above all, the welfare state.
It's okay to be proud to be German. This is a very important principle. And fight for a great future for Germany. Fight for a great future for Germany. Go, go, go. Convince your friends, convince everyone. Let's go.
So these are the big faces. Now let's talk about the key issues driving this election. The first and the foremost is immigration. Last year, Germany witnessed many fatal attacks, deadly stabbings and car ramming incidents, and most of these were blamed on immigrants. So there are calls for a crackdown. Merz has promised it, so has Alice Weidel. Chancellor Scholz has been softer on it, but now his party too wants tighter border controls. The second big issue is the economy. Germany is Europe's largest economy. It is also the most populous nation, but the country remains mired in recession. Growth is slow, investment is lackluster. So all parties have plans for this. The Conservatives want corporate tax cuts. Scholz wants income tax cuts. There's also talk of an inheritance tax.
We represent, in terms of economic weight, 27% of the Eurozone, together with France almost 50%, and that's a lot. And it's clear that if it doesn't work well in those two countries, if they don't work well together, it means that the European Union can't really move forward.
So economy is quite a big issue, which brings us to the last big one, the Ukraine war. Germany is Kiev's second biggest military backer after the United States. All mainstream parties support Ukraine. Merz wants to send Kiev the Taurus missiles. These are capable of hitting Russian territory. Scholz is more cautious. He doesn't want to do anything that will antagonize Moscow further. Meanwhile, the AfD has a different stance. It wants to stop all arms deliveries. So immigration, economy, Ukraine. These are the issues that will decide the polls. And the big vote bank is Gen Z. During the last election in 2021, the Greens were the top party for the youth. This time things are a little different. Gen Z is backing the Christian Democratic Union, or CDU, followed by the AfD party. So what explains this pivot to the right? It's TikTok. AfD is big on the app. It uses TikTok to rally support, and that explains its growing popularity among the youth. Plus, there's immigration. You see, most of the AfD support comes from East Germany. And this region has long been homogeneous. They've not seen a lot of diversity. But the growing number of immigrants is changing that, and the locals seem to be uncomfortable with it, which is why the youth are backing the party that opposes immigration. But here's something I must add. Polls say that 30% of German voters are undecided. Most of them are the youth. Unlike their parents, they don't have solid party loyalties.
Well, things have been a bit chaotic with our government recently, and I think that maybe with how should I put it, no more grand coalition, the party, that party, that party, but maybe one or two who then form the government.
So right now, Germany is at a crossroads. This election could determine its future. Will the voters stick with the centrists? Will the conservatives take back power? And what role will the far right play in shaping Germany's future? This Sunday, the world will be watching.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogan, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically, in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.